Skeletons of the Marital Closet by Tang. Chapter 1301. Gale felt lost. Nicole hugged the doll and lay quietly, closing her eyes. "I'm going to sleep." "You don't want to listen to the story anymore?" "I don't." Gale had no choice but to close the storybook in her hand. Shawn walked in. Nicole remained motionless. Shawn sat on the edge of the bed. "Nicole, Daddy came to say goodnight to you." She still closed her eyes and pretended to be asleep. Gale gently shook his head at him. Nicole was really angry and sad. She was fighting silently in her own way. Gale was depressed when she walked out of the room. "I didn't expect that Nicole would be controlled by the spell again so soon. I don't know when the next time will be, when she will be sober again." "We will cure her." She nodded. "I hope so." Their time together was short but beautiful. Nicole has already realized that something is wrong. If she can't get rid of her doubts as soon as possible, she will only fall worse into despair every time. "Based on what I know about her, she might continue to give you the cold shoulder," Gale said. "Cold shoulder?" "Yes. If you don't believe me, wait till tomorrow morning. She will be more depressed and quiet. She won't ask to see Mommy anymore because she knows that you can't satisfy her." Gale tucked her hair behind her ears, deep in thought. "Tomorrow I'll find someone who looks like Winnie to video call her tomorrow. This way, I can appease her for the time being," Shawn suggested. "That's the only way. Tomorrow..." Gale also thought of a way. "Shawn, tomorrow is the weekend. Can we bring Joshua over to accompany Nicole? Maybe she will forget about it." "Joshua is Nicole's elder brother. As long as Joshua was here, Nicole would definitely feel better." Shawn raised his eyebrows deeply. "Are you sure it would work?" "Well, I'm sure. Trust me, and trust Joshua." Gale replied very positively. "You and I can coax her. Can Joshua do it?" "Just wait and see." Gale's heart eased a little, thinking of being able to see her son and let him coax his daughter. She felt it was good to have two children. They each have a companion. They can intercede for each other. When she gets older, the siblings will still be able to support each other throughout their lives. Shawn was disdainful. Relying on that sly Joshua? He and Gale could not handle Nicole. How could Joshua? However, Gale looked relieved. "Go to bed. I will ask my dad to bring Joshua over tomorrow." Chapter 1302. Although she did not drink alcohol and was conscious, what if Shawn suddenly started to mess around in the middle of the night? When the time came, what would Gale do? Gale hurriedly took 2 steps forward, holding the doorknob tightly. As long as Shawn reached out to grab her, she could immediately open the door, then lock the door. That way, she could escape. She will think about the future later. "Joshua is still with father-in-law? Has Peter been taking care of him?" Shawn asked. Gale was about to breathe a sigh of relief, but, on second thoughts, Shawn's focus seemed to be very dangerous. "Yes, didn't I tell you?" Gale replied. "I remember." "Yeah," Shawn asked. "He has been in Sea City for so long. Why hasn't his mother, Molly, contacted him? Did she have no sense of responsibility?" The palm of Gale holding the doorknob started to sweat. She would rather Shawn carry her into the master bedroom than ask that. She would rather rack her brains to guard against Shawn than answer the question about Joshua. Joshua is usually under the care of his grandparents. Besides, how do you know that his mother doesn't care about him? Maybe she calls him several times a day." "Weird." Gale shrugged. "How do I know? You seem to know Molly. Ask her." "I don't know her. I'm not interested in other women, so don't think too much about it," Shawn said. Originally, Gale did not think much about it, but his last sentence caught her attention. So, she could make use of it. She intentionally said lightly, "Yes, I have heard you mention her name several times. If you are really interested in her, you can go check her out." Sure enough, when she said this, Shawn stopped asking questions. He explained, "Gaily, don't get me wrong. I just said it casually." "Misunderstanding? I didn't misunderstand. Only people with a guilty conscience would be so anxious. An open and frank person would not care what others say because he has nothing to hide." Gale looked at him innocently. Before Shawn could speak, Gale quickly opened the door. "I'm going to bed. Bye." Shawn was left standing there, looking at the closed door. "Gaily." Gale leaned against the door, motionless, and did not respond to him. "Besides you, there's no room for anyone else in my eyes. But I am happy you're jealous. Let Joshua come over tomorrow. Nicole doesn't have many friends." "You should rest earlier." The footsteps gradually faded away. Gale frowned and glanced at Nicole, who had fallen asleep. When would all of this end? Will it be over soon? It should be soon. The next day. Chapter 1303. Joshua came over early the next morning. He was wearing a t-shirt, overalls, and a cap. He was very trendy, just like a child star. "Joshua, do you remember what I told you? Don't let anything go wrong," Peter asked. Don't worry. I will complete the task." Hey, he was Joshua. It would always go well. Peter always felt that he was too young to be reliable. Joshua was quite smart, but he was still a child. Gale sent a message to Peter before going to bed last night and explained the matter so that Peter could brief Joshua. He was still wondering why Joshua had to come. However, Peter complied. At least Joshua is Nicole's older brother. Siblings may have their own ways of communicating and little secrets. Nicole did not care about Shawn or Gale, but she would care about Joshua. "Let's go through it one more time. She's not sober, but you know everything, huh? Where did you go?" Peter was sitting on the sofa, still talking. Peter inadvertently looked to the side, and Joshua was gone. The little devil had already slipped away. He was going to find Nicole. He was sick of Grandpa's nagging. He treated him like a child. Joshua had a very good memory. Peter looked left and right, but still had not come to his senses. Kids sure are restless. The housekeeper brought tea. "Please have some tea." Joshua had already made his way up to the second floor. He went straight to Nicole's bedroom. However, just as he passed the door of the master bedroom, Shawn just happened to come out of it. He only saw a small, short figure flashing past in front of him with a whoosh. There was a gust of wind. If he were not paying attention, he would not have noticed it. Who dared to run on the second floor? Shawn took a closer look and reached out. He tugged at Joshua's back collar. Hey, what are you doing? Old man, let me down. You are bullying me." Shawn was speechless. He squinted at Joshua. "You ran so fast, I almost couldn't catch you." "I can do anything I set my mind to. Now, let me down." He struggled vigorously, but Shawn still treated him as if he was carrying a chicken. Shawn raised his hand up. "Okay, I'll stop now." Joshua immediately confessed. "Uncle, you are handsome, suave, tall, and graceful. You are the most handsome man in this city," Joshua said without missing a beat. Chapter 1304. Shawn snorted coldly, then put him down. As soon as Joshua landed on the ground, he turned around and made a face at Shawn before continuing to run forward. "Stop! Come back! Nicole hasn't gotten up yet," Shawn said. "It's already dawn. I'm going to wake her up." Joshua did not look back. You are a boy. You can't just enter a girl's room willy-nilly. I am telling you to stop. Nicole won't care. She will allow me to go in. Joshua arrived at the second bedroom door in a blink of an eye. Shawn followed. Why did Joshua not take his words seriously? Knock, knock, knock. Joshua knocked on the door politely. Nicole, it's me. I'm coming in. He turned the doorknob. The door actually opened. Shawn was shocked. Gale didn't lock it last night? Before he could react, Joshua had already run in. He followed immediately. However, the scene in the bedroom caused his expression to change rapidly, and his face became dark because Gale was changing. Ah! Gale exclaimed when she saw them suddenly barging in and quickly covered her breast with her clothes. However, her tender white shoulders and slender waist could still be vaguely seen. Shawn saw the heart-shaped birthmark on her waist. You! Gale did not know whether to laugh or cry, not knowing what to say. I knocked on the door, didn't you hear? He acted like it was supposed to happen. I heard it. Before I have time to answer and tell you not to come in, you have already opened the door, Gale replied. The door was unlocked, so I came in. Joshua was confident. Shawn could not stand it anymore. How could his wife be seen by other men when she was changing clothes? Not even a child like Joshua could. He immediately covered Joshua's eyes. Don't look. Close your eyes. Oh, I don't need to, but I have seen it before, Joshua said. Shawn's face darkened even more. And it's okay to take a look. She is covered. Well, Big Beauty has a nice body, Joshua said, not afraid at all. Shawn had only one thought, which was to throw him out. Shawn immediately hugged Joshua by the waist with one hand, turned around, and walked out. Hey, Shawn, be careful. He's just a child, Gale said worriedly. Joshua watched Gale change and commented on it. How could this be tolerated? He could not bear it. Joshua did not care at all. Uncle, why are you so angry? It's not the first time I've seen the Big Beauty changing clothes. What are you talking about? Chapter 1305. If you don't believe me, you can ask the Big Beauty yourself. Gale was quiet. Yes, it was not the first time he saw her changing clothes. Normally, Joshua would still turn around politely. He would know even it was his mommy, he still had to keep a distance. He was clearly admiring her on purpose this time. Shawn looked at Gale. Is what he said true? Gale racked her brains for an excuse. I went back to my house to live for a while, and it happened that Aaron brought Joshua over. She stammered and explained. Hey, I didn't lie, did I? Shawn just wanted to throw him out the door at first. Now, he wants to throw him downstairs. Forget it, Shawn. He's just a kid. Gale quickly put on the t-shirt. But he's also a boy. When he grows up, he won't remember a thing. Gale walked over quickly and rescued Joshua from Shawn's grasp. She gave Joshua a warning look. He should stop testing Shawn's boundaries. She could see that Joshua was deliberately angering Shawn, knowing that Shawn cared and was possessive. Joshua stretched out his hand and hugged her vigorously. Oh, Big Beauty, long time no see. I miss you very much. He hugged Gale's waist with both hands and wrapped her legs around her. He hung on Gale's body like a baby koala. Joshua said, How many months has it been since we saw each other? You're such a smooth talker. That is, I am the first in the class and the second in the school. Number 2 in the school? Who is number 1? Gale was a little surprised. He has always been ranked number 1. Was there anyone else could surpass Joshua? What kind of gifted child was that? It's her, Joshua pointed at Nicole, who was still sleeping soundly on the bed. I'll let her go since she is a girl. It's okay to let her get first place once in a while. It turned out that the first was Nicole. That was not surprising. The brothers and sisters often take turns to be the number one, but Joshua would be the number one more often. What's going on? It's not like you let someone else get number one. Gale was very curious. She is Nicole, and it's not someone else, so I just let it go. Be honest. Joshua had no choice but to be honest. He scratched his head. The scoring included arts and crafts, and I'm not very creative, so her total score beat me. Joshua said very stiffly. It's normal for a boy to lose in arts and crafts. It's not shameful. He also turned his head to look at Shawn. That's right, old man. When you were in kindergarten, could you get first in handicraft class? He had to find a boy to ask, to find a sense of balance in his heart. Yes, do you think I am you? Shawn said. Joshua jumped up immediately. I don't believe it. Shawn was too lazy to talk to him. Go out. This is a girl's room. You, a boy, should not be here. You are also a boy. How come you can come in? One is my wife, and the other is my daughter. Do you understand? Shawn replied. Then I can only say, one is my big beauty, and the other is my little baby. Chapter 1306. Shawn and Gale were speechless. Brother? At this time, Nicole rubbed her eyes and sat up from the bed. She blinked to confirm that she had seen Joshua. Bro, it's really you. I thought it was a dream. Nicole laughed suddenly. Joshua replied, It's not a dream. I'm here. Nicole immediately got up from the bed and put on her shoes. I miss you so much, Joshua. She happily ran to Joshua, smiling sweetly with dimples on her cheeks. She completely ignored Shawn and Gale. I miss you too. I miss you more than you miss me, Joshua responded. Shawn let out a cold snort. Joshua sure could flirt with girls. No wonder Nicole likes him so much. Nicole would not even talk to him when she was angry, but when she saw Joshua, she smiled like a flower. What's the matter? Uncle Shawn, do you have any problems with me? Do you hate me? You don't welcome me at all to your home, do you? Joshua looked up at him. The more he spoke, the more aggrieved he became, and his voice became softer. A pitiful look. Shawn was speechless. Joshua sniffed. I knew it. You think I'm not worthy to play with Nicole, so I've always restrained myself. I didn't dare to visit Nicole often, just because I was afraid that you would be unhappy. Gale did not know what to say. Joshua's acting was spot on. In the future, he could enter the entertainment industry and become an Oscar winner. However, Nicole did not know he was acting and actually believed Joshua. She looked at him very unhappy. Daddy, how can you push away Joshua like this? I didn't. I just like to play with Joshua. I just want to see him every day. He is a very important person to me. You are not allowed to bully him, otherwise I will hate you, Nicole said righteously. Nicole, you will hate me because of Joshua? Yes. So in Nicole's heart, is Daddy still inferior to others? No, Joshua is not others. He is family. He is her brother. Shawn pursed his lips. It seemed that he was hurt by Nicole's words. He did not expect that Nicole would take Joshua so seriously. Nicole, it's okay. I'm used to it. Don't quarrel with Uncle Shawn, otherwise he will dislike me even more, Joshua said aloud. What a legendary snake, sly and cunning. Forget it. He was very upset again. Seeing this, Gale said, Let them play alone. We adults would not get involved. Let's go out first. She walked up to Shawn and gently pushed him. Chapter 1307. Shawn did not move. Joshua said deliberately, "How about I go?" "No!" Nicole immediately grabbed his sleeve. Shawn took a deep breath. He would be defeated by Joshua. What a joke. "No, you stay. I'll go. You and Nicole have a good time. Have fun," Shawn said through gritted teeth. "Thank you, Uncle Shawn." Gale smacked his forehead. There were not many people who could bring Shawn to his knees. She was one. Joe was sometimes one. Now there was Joshua. Gale really wanted to tell Shawn not to worry about it because he is his son. However, she could not. From Nicole's point of view, indeed, Joshua was very important. This is her brother, who grew up with her. When depressed, she would be more keen to be close to Joshua. Shawn took a glance before turning away. Gale pulled Shawn. "Let's go. Nothing will happen, don't worry." After walking out of the room, Shawn's expression was still rotten. Gale took his arm and tried to comfort him. "It's not a first day, you know, Joshua. He is just a mischievous, eccentric little slippery guy. What are you fussing about with him?" "Gale, what's wrong? Not only does Nicole like him, but you also seem at ease with him." Gale nodded. "Yeah, because Joshua is pretty nice. Just wait and see. After he's gone, Nicole will definitely talk to you and stop being angry." Shawn was dubious. "Really? Wait and see." Gale had full faith in her son. However, this was still a temporary solution. "What's the situation with the Lefting family now? Any news?" Gale asked. "Not yet." "Okay, I'll go downstairs to accompany Dad first." Shawn and Gale gradually walked away. Joshua slowly opened the door a crack. He squinted and looked toward the crack of the door. Shawn was gone. Joshua closed the door again before saying, "Nicole, there are only two of us here now. You can tell me anything you have to say. I am your brother and I will protect you." "Joshua, do you miss Mommy?" "Of course I do," Joshua said. Nicole looked at him worriedly. "Joshua, Mommy hasn't come home for a long time. I made a video call with her yesterday. She screamed, and Daddy stayed with another woman." Joshua nodded to show that he was listening carefully. After Nicole finished complaining, he waved his hand. "You misunderstood him." "Huh? But—" Joshua interrupted her. "No buts. I video call with Mommy every day." Nicole was stunned. "Huh? She's on vacation. She had a great time. She's by the sea." Chapter 1308. Joshua lied through his teeth. The abilities seemed to be inherited. Nicole was taken aback for a while when he said the same thing and finally began to doubt herself. "So it's me. Did I misunderstand Daddy?" Joshua patted his chest. "That's right. I'm your brother, and I can't lie to you. You can always doubt men, but you can't doubt me." "Then why does Mommy video call you every day but doesn't contact me?" Nicole looked lonely. "You have always been by Mommy's side. Just this time, she has been away from you for so long. Unlike me, like a homeless tramp. I live at Orum's house for a few days, live with Grandpa for a few days, dare not call Mommy, can't recognize Daddy." Hearing this, Nicole felt distressed and blamed herself. "I'm sorry, Joshua. I don't want to occupy Mommy. I just want to know if she is doing well. Since you are sure that Mommy is safe and happy, I don't worry about her anymore." "You think too much. Mommy is fine." Nicole was still a little skeptical because she heard Mommy's screams with her own ears. She also saw her father and another woman staying together. However, she believed her brother's words. Seeing that Nicole still looked conflicted, Joshua said, "Why would I lie? How much do you love Mommy? I love Mommy more than you. No, why do you love Mommy more than me? Joshua said confidently. Big Beauty is my favorite person. Not to be outdone, Nicole said. Mommy is my most favorite person, more than yours. No, I love her the most in the world. I love Mommy the most in the universe. The two started arguing over who loves Gale the most. At this time, they looked a little like children. After arguing for a while, Joshua smiled. Okay, because you are a girl, I will let you win. Nicole thought for a while. No, Joshua, we are equal. There is no one who comes first, who is more and who is less. They were very contentious, but now they are humble again. Joshua chuckled. Okay, you can say whatever you want. Nicole, I heard that you have been ignoring the old man all night. Is it true? Nicole was a little embarrassed. I misunderstood Daddy. You don't make it easy on Mrs. Anne. Nicole, you can't do this, she hurriedly said. I will change. Mrs. Anne is a relative of Mrs. Zoe. She also cares about you and loves you. You can trust her. Joshua raised his hand and pinched her face. Okay, baby Nicole, I'll play with you today. Be happy. Don't put a bitter face like an old lady. Why am I a baby? Because you are younger than me. You are my sister. Nicole was very unconvinced. I was only born 2 minutes later than you. Joshua raised his head proudly. I am your elder brother. Stop arguing with me about who is older. Nicole said, if you are free, come and visit me. Oh, I see you every day in kindergarten. I can see you every day and even on weekends. Nicole replied seriously. Meeting in kindergarten and meeting at home is different. I want to see you on weekends. I want us to live together, just like when we were at home. I want all of us to live together, Nicole said. Chapter 1309. Joshua touched his chin. Nicole's wish, it will come true soon, Joshua said. Really? Joshua could not be sure. He was firmly on Aram's side. Nicole, have you met Uncle Aram? He rubbed his hands. I've seen him. What do you think of him as our daddy? Nicole's eyes widened. Joshua, we have a daddy now. I know. I don't mind having one more. Nicole was shocked. One more daddy? How could this be? I mean, the new daddy. The old man is still our daddy. After all, we are related by blood. But the new daddy will be with Mommy. Get married until old, Joshua said. Nicole shook her head like a rattle. No. Uncle Aram is very good, but I still like my daddy more. Believe me, Uncle Aram is much better than the old man. That won't work either. Seeing that Nicole was so persistent, Joshua suddenly found himself in trouble. Nicole sided with the old man. He stood on Uncle Aram's side. Then, let them see who would win. Okay, you can stick to your choice, and I can stick to mine. It depends on who makes the right bet. Joshua snapped his fingers. Nicole snorted. It must be Daddy. Just, you were angry with the old man just now, but now you're on the side of the old man again. Daddy must win, okay? Uncle Aram is just a spare tire. Joshua was speechless. Sometimes when Nicole talked, she would piss people off. Downstairs, in the living room, people drank tea slowly. This tea is good, rich, and fragrant. It has a sweet aftertaste. It's really good tea, the housekeeper said. I'll bring you a few packs right away, and you can savor it when you return. No, I'm just complimenting it. The housekeeper smiled. It's rare for you to come here. Mr. Wood must show his appreciation. How can I let you go back empty-handed? This tea is the best tea, and it is not sold anywhere. You can drink more if you like. If there is more good tea next time, I will put some aside for you." Peter also laughed. "You're a very good housekeeper." "You are being polite." Gale went downstairs. "Dad, sorry to keep you waiting. I was helping Joshua get settled in." "It's okay. Do what you need to do." Shawn greeted. "Mr. Warm, you look much better than before." Peter nodded. "Yes, I am always happy, even when I am busy with Joshua by my side. Although he is noisy, he is very sensible. I am too lonely living alone. It is nice to have him with me." Chapter 1310. "Don't you think it's troublesome?" "Why is it troublesome? I am very happy." Peter waved his hands again and again. Peter was really happy. Peter would always smile when talking about Joshua and would sing praises. "This kid is really smart. He can do anything and learn anything after teaching him once. I took him fishing. He can be my little helper. He can also choose where has the most fish. He is very agile when he runs back and forth. Even the people who are fishing next to him like him." There was a slight smile on the corner of Shawn's mouth, and he nodded his head occasionally as a sign of agreement. However, he was annoyed. Even his father-in-law liked Joshua. Was there anyone else he could not impress? Having said that, Shawn also admired Joshua very much, and he also saw the shining advantages in him. It was just that this kid had been coveting his daughter all the time. As the father, of course, he was upset. How could his precious daughter be taken by Joshua? After boasting, Peter continued to drink tea with a smile. "By the way, Dad, when you are free some other day, I will arrange for you to meet Mary. She wants to visit you and has told me several times," Gale said. "Mary? Is she alone?" "Right." Peter was a little puzzled. Gale smiled bitterly. "It's a long story, Dad. The Yarn family is too complicated." Peter understood her very well. "Okay then, don't talk about it. I will do what you arrange. Anyway, I will meet the Yarn family sooner or later. No matter what happens to the Yarn family, you will always be my dad. Mom will always be my mother, too. We are family and will not change because of anything or anyone." Peter nodded again and again. "I'd be very happy if you would just remember me. You and my mother have raised me for more than 20 years. I can't repay this kindness no matter what." Gale's sincere words. An adoptive father would also be the father. Peter was far better than Matthew. Peter always cared about her and always remembered to bring her delicious food. He protected her and nurtured her. "I have nothing to ask for. Your safety and happiness are the greatest things I can ask for. However, the Yarn family is your real home after all. Those are the parents who gave birth to you," Peter said. Gale sighed. She wanted to tell Dad about the situation of the Yarn family. She could not hide it, and she did not intend to hide it. The Yarn family is in a mess now. The paternity test results have come out. I am indeed the daughter of the Yarn family. However, Natalie is also the daughter of the Yarn family, Gale said. "I thought Natalie was an adopted daughter." "No, she is Matthew's illegitimate daughter. She was brought into the Yarn family as an adopted daughter and raised by Mary's side." Peter was shocked. It took him a while to react. However, he did not continue to inquire. After all, that was private, so it was not easy to ask for more info. "Where is Mary now?" "Hospital. She is not in good health and is slowly recovering," Gale replied. Peter thought for a while. "In that case, I should visit her. Gale, what do you think?" Gale shook her head. Dad, this is not appropriate. You are the one who they should be thanking. They should come to you rather than you going to them. I don't care about that, Peter said.